Hey, 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 hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where in the world you're watching this show.
Told you I'd get some more hey, hey, heys in.
Yeah, more hay than a horse. Anyway, we hope you had a fantastic 2 weeks away from us.
Oh my god.
And we hope you enjoyed the three
It's
videos in
like
between.
that.
I know. So we are going to aim to be
We're
on
back.
time
Part
tonight.
2.
We're going to be aim to on time tonight. So no digressing. We're going to stay on topic and keep
Good luck
it.
with that,
Yes.
Keith.
So this
Quick
is
recap.
corporate. No, this is corporate balloon clients and classics decor part 2.
That's right. If you don't know what we're talking about, watch part 1.
Yes,
it was
please
great.
do. Basically, we designed it. We sent it to the client. Client has said yes. So this time we're going to be. We videoed ourselves on site, actually installing the arch, and we're gonna. First of all, we're gonna jump straight in, and we're gonna share it with you guys. The video of the build.
Yeah, this is the install.
I need to
Look
go.
at us getting about business really fast.
I know.
I am aware, though, the part 1 did go 45, 50 minutes.
54 minutes. But here we go. Ready? Let's go. Here we go.
Super duper, that one.
Super duper. We hope you guys enjoyed that quick run through.
Did anyone catch me talking there?
All the time, all the time. Actually, I don't mind you talking on that one, Dom. The reason being is that while we were there doing that installation, we were actually getting booked for another job.
It was a rebook. It just looks worse on the time lapse.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh.
When the manager comes along and wants to discuss some certain things, and then you realise he's booking you for another job, that's a win.
This is the thing about working on site, though. We have these interactions, we have these distractions. However, this one turned to a sale, so we'll accept that.
We will accept this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put that video back on, and but this time we're going to jump through it the way that we want to.
Yeah, let's have a little look and let's dissect this a little bit.
Yeah, so let's talk about our setup first of all.
Okay, let's go to here, go to here, go to there. Right.
So we're using the premium Cool Air 4 inflator with 2-foot pedals, one on Dom's side, one on my side, and we've also got it set up with 2 the very best size boxes.
That's right. So one of the first things that we've done on this particular site is access is quite far away from where the vehicle is. So we've brought everything into a staging area first.
Yeah, we decamped.
Yep, decamped the vehicle, brought everything in because this is a venue that we have to sign in and sign out. So we try to make that trip once.
Yeah, absolutely. And also we don't want to upset the staff, so we don't want to be we're actually access the venue out of hours, so we don't want to upset them by having to go in and out and go back to the van.
Preparation's key. We know what we're building, we know what equipment we should need, so let's have that ready in the vehicle, so when we get there we can get everything out we need very fast and efficiently. We get it into the premises, then once we're in we then move that to our work area. Try to stay confined as possible so we're not spread out.
No trailing cables, causing trip hazards,
nice and
nothing.
safe.
Yeah, don't upset the staff.
That's right. So we've got a good area to work in here. We've got a place for our balloons to go. We've got our machine all set up. We've gone for the Cool Air 4 because we want to overinflate and deflate to size to give longevity of these balloons.
Yeah, this particular venue has temperature swings because of air condition and number of people in the venue. And also it's going to be used as a photo opportunity. So people are going to be in close proximity to it, touching it, whatever. So we want it so that it has.
That's right. Otherwise, we could have used the.
We're already using the very best balloons. So
that's right.
Might as well
the
use
premium
the very best
twin
techniques.
sizer would have been good for digital sizing. However, the longevity was more important here, so that's why we went for this particular option.
Okay, so I'm going to skip forward. You'll see that very quickly. What we do is, oh look, there's Dom with a chair.
We decide we're too old to be bending down that far.
Yeah, so what we do
actually,
is...
Keith is. I'm not, but I wanted to show him.
I'm already 29.
Consolidarity that I would do the same method.
So what we did was we brought 2 chairs over to raise the height of our sizing boxes so that we could work at a better height for us.
We've also, as well, what you can't see on the video there is, because we know how many clusters we'd need, we've counted out one of the colours. You don't need to count out all 5 because it's the same amount. We've just counted out one of the colours, and that's our control pile, if you like, because if you start counting them on the floor, or as you're doing them, you're going to miscount and forget. And if you're anything like me, I count them, then forget the need to recount them. So we've counted the pile, and we actually counted the wild berry, and that was the control number. So once they were finished, we should effectively have enough balloons, clusters, to do this arch.
So we'll just go through the inflation, and there we go.
Yeah, you're right, Keith. I'm faster than you. That's right.
Is that where it is?
I've done more of them.
Yeah. So switching over to after the inflation, we're going to put our pole together. This is our standard setup of the tent pole with 2 poles. If you don't know what we're talking about, why not? You need to get yourself over onto
part 1 to go to.
Yes,
the best episode ever.
It's all about the base. If you get a link in the description, if it's not already there, we'll add it later. But you need to get onto it's all about the base, and it shows you the different styles of bases and things that we use.
We talk about selection of what bases we've used and what arches we use for different kind of customer types, but this one was used because for this situation we didn't want to use an aeropole because the customer's going to need to move it at a later point in its life with this customer.
Also, the base plates for the aeropole are very wide, and this is going tight up against the stage to
That's
give
right.
plenty of space between the balloons themselves and the first chairs. So this is perfect.
This is the right one for this job. This could be a bigger arch in the same method. It's just this is the size that's right for us for this job.
Yeah.
But we can actually make this one much bigger.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 base plates and poles with that arch going between them.
Look, you can see. Let's see if I can find the Mr. Q. Look at this.
Come on,
look at
Mr.
this.
Q,
Look,
you can do
look.
this.
Dom's eye line is going.
Oh, something
Bing,
interesting.
bing, bing. And what he's looking at there is that's the centre mark for the pole, and he's just having a look at to see where that particular is for reference for later on, because this is going to be a spiral that reverses when it gets to the middle. So he's just marking that point as to where that
this particular type of pole connection, the way it goes into the columns, you can actually adjust it. You can make it longer and shorter because you can actually put the arch itself further into the pole. We only need it in so far, but it does give us some options of resizing it. But what can go wrong is I could put mine in more or less than Keith's side, so therefore we can make the middle not the middle.
Yeah, so we'll just let a look at
something to just check on.
Right, okay, so once we've got this locked in, what we do is, first of all, we test it, because at some point we're going to have to lie it down to get the top ones, because we don't want to have to get up a ladder to add our extra balloons on the top.
There's no need for us to take a ladder onto site when we can bring the balloons down to a comfortable working height. So what we're doing first is making sure that we've got the option for the comfortable working height. Once that's been established, we can then stand it back up again and start accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. With a cluster of 5, it's much easier to start on one end and go there.
Yeah.
If some people on reverse spiral, they'll start in the middle and go either way, which is fine on a cluster of 4.
We do
but
it.
A cluster of 5 it can be a bit more tricky.
It's just you need a lot of patience for it, and you get it right, then it pops out, and it gets quite frustrating. And also, if you've got people watching you, which generally that's the time they're going to watch because it's the first balloon that's going onto the structure, they're really interested. So the pressure builds. So we find by doing it on the floor, starting at the base, you've got the base plate to work against, and you're a lot more controlled. So you can build from the bottom from one side and work your way over. Now you can choose to go from left and right and join in the middle, or as we've done on this particular one, gone from the left and worked our way over to the right, which means that when we get to that centre, which we can tell where it is because that's where the mark is, that's when we start to reverse the spiral.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at there, and that looks a little bit frozen.
One sec, let's go to here. Let's see if we can refresh what we're looking at.
It looks all right now. Well, it's all right on the back because that's all right on the back.
You can see us on the TV.
Yeah, can you refresh that on there?
I'll try.
Isn't like TV great? Right. Okay.
I don't think he wants to show us today, Keith.
There it is. There. Oh, no, not quite. It's still not up to date.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
It's like our network saying no.
Try it now. Try moving it and see if we've got.
It's still way behind where we're actually up to. If you look at the left one for there. That's great.
This is live, folks. This is what we have to live with.
There we go. Right, you caught up.
Right.
No, and then it went backwards.
No. Oh, that's interesting.
It caught up and then it went backwards.
It did. I saw it. I believe you. I wonder if we watch it on this one behind us.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll slide out the way slightly.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's as good. It's got 4 of us in now.
Okay, so...
Keith, can I just say, you need to smile more in freeze frames.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's because I'm thinking of the next job. So we're going to come up to the middle, and then we're going to find a little bit of a better camera angle.
Look how easy that is, working at a normal height for me.
Yeah. And how flexible this rod is as well.
Oh, yeah. But which is why you don't start in the middle on this one. Because that flexibility is good, but when you start, it's bad.
Yeah. And then we're going to flip over camera. There we go, from the better angle.
This is, you can do this on your own. There's no reason as a single person, single balloon business, that you can't do this on your own. It just takes more time because you've got to go and pick up your next cluster, reorder it, and then put it onto the arch.
Yeah.
When you're working as a duo, it's fantastic because one person's picking up that cluster and they are putting it into sequence. Then they're passing it, but they're also doing a visual whilst they're stepping back as
Go
well.
on, step over there. It seems to be working again.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching it, and it looks like it's all right.
We'll give it a
Okay,
go.
so we'll see if this is.
So what Keith's doing here, he's putting the balloons into order, and then when he's passing them to me, he's also checking to make sure I get the spiral correct.
Yeah, so
it's really easy.
That's
to get it wrong.
my job. Dom's job is to put the balloons on. My job is to put the balloons in the right colour order before they get to him, and also to check the ones behind to make sure that the spirals travel in the correct direction. Because you can see there, the spiral travels round in an anti-clockwise manner until it gets the middle, and then it switches to being clockwise.
So easy to make a mistake when you're very close to it.
Yeah.
You know, or you get one of the colours wrong. It's very, very easy. So having that second person check is brilliant.
Yeah. So we're just going to keep going until now we come back down the straight pole. So we pull
one of the
the
other
arch
things
in.
that we didn't point out as well, which is very helpful by doing it this method, is quite often when you've got an arch in position, you've got that transition from the straight to the curved.
Yeah.
You've got to have one side of that cluster squashed down to give you the start of that arch, and that's quite hard to push the balloons in, and sometimes you get a gap or overly tight. By being able to lie this structure down so the pole goes into the arch at a straight transition, if you like, you can just put them on as if you're doing garland. Then when you let the pole flex into its natural arch position, it then squashes them down ever so slightly, naturally, consistently on the inside of that curve.
Yeah.
So it makes it so much easier.
And then we're going to continue on down. At this point, I'm sure some of you guys have already noticed that we have a couple of failures.
And a chair.
Here's a failure. Let's have a look.
Go on, Mr. Q. Show us where it is.
Mr. Q. Actually, I'll tell you what, Mr. Q. You can have one of them instead. Mr. Q will use them. There, look. There's one, and there's another one.
So the blue and the orange.
So out of all that, 220 balloons, we've had 2 fail. And that's probably due to Dom's knots.
Yeah, well, it's less than knots, but probably when when you put them onto the pole or the arch, as you push it down, so try to present it onto the pole at the height that it's going to be at. If you have to push it down, you are more likely to burn.
Yeah.
We don't overly worry about it because, 1 or 2 to fix at the end. We're working to a recipe, we're working to a set size. It's easy to put an individual balloon in and fix that.
Also, the way that we do it, because the balloons are set up in a set way when we're tying our 2s and 3s to make our clusters, we know what colours each one's tied to, so it makes it very easy to pop the balloon and then put the new one in and tie it into the design and know that it's not going to lose any stability.
That's
okay,
right.
Once those 2 have been replaced, we're going to put the arch in place. But
Very
you can
easy
see,
to move.
Yeah, very easy to move.
Yeah.
And you can see there we've left it low,
Yeah.
to make it easier for adding the letters on
That's
the
right.
front.
We put it in position, check we're good, then we've stretched out the base plates on each side, and there's enough tension on that arch with those balloons that it'll support itself at this kind of ungainly, unnatural angle, because the base plates are kind of sitting at a 45-degree angle on the floor. That's fine, it's a bit wobbly, but it's supported enough that we can work on it. It's brilliant, because there's no ladder, no standing on chairs, which looks terrible.
Yes.
Natural height to work at, and it's much easier.
It's far more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as
And
you go up a
faster.
ladder, as soon as you go up a ladder, you'll have people watching to see what happens. You
Yeah.
know, and if you've got a health and safety guy on site, you'll be absolutely sure that he comes along to have a chat with you about ladder safety. Whereas if you're working at normal floor height, you never have that issue.
People love us for that. And it's also faster.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're on a ladder, you're at half speed straight away.
And then all we're doing is we're using some balloon stretchy tape from Click Click on the back with a 260Q, and we tie it into the design. So just add a piece on.
It's a really good mechanical connection, but it gives us the flexibility to be able to move them around on this arch. Also, as well, when the customer moves it, if they were to move the letters, they're really easy to reposition. It's not something hard. It's quite natural to just give the letter a wiggle, move it into where it needs to look good, and it'll take that position. So nice and easy. Great shot of Keith there again.
Yeah.
Thinking about the job.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get it out of there. So there we go. In fact, if I take off this, you can go back to us. There we go. And that was the arch itself with the bingo on the front. But we didn't stop there, did we, Dom?
No. quite often we like to make sure that we give them, the best bang for the buck. Give them something, to exceed the expectations is what we try to achieve. So we've got the brief, we know what they want, we know what they need, and we've given them a price for what they're expecting.
So what we did on here is that we added in, we'll have to go big again, a couple of extra columns on either side, which match in perfectly with the spirals as it goes.
Great one to add in from a cost perspective from both sides of the party here.
Yeah.
One is from the customer because they add a lot of value, they look great, and they're adding more to what they perceive they're getting. But for us, very inexpensive to produce. It's the same colour balloons, it's the same technique, same size and same equipment. It's just same. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing with it is that the spiral reverses. Now, the spiral reverses. It's not just a case of turning like this. You actually have to follow the arch and spiral from this side across onto the opposite side.
That's right.
And the way that we do that is by doing this.
There we go.
What we do is we have our two clusters, one from the left-hand side column, one from the right, and it's basically we just taken the left-hand side
It's
one.
like a page turn.
It's literally just turn.
So if you were to take that one from the left-hand side
Yeah.
and turn it like a page of a book, that's how it would land on the other way. But we have to preempt that for the columns, but not the arch, because the arch does it itself.
Yeah, it just follows across the arch on there, and then the last thing that we have to show you after that is we're going to add the personalised toppers on.
That's right.
So we're going to add 36-inch microfoil stars on each of the columns, and we're going to personalise it. It will be in one moment.
It's going to come. Any second now, they say.
Here it is, and we'll just talk through it. So this is how to apply 60 years.
Yeah, we've got a great video on personalisation, so we go through all of this. But this is the kind of the basis of this installation is we are taking down the two stars inflated because it saves us time on site, and it also gives them a little bit of a soak test. But we haven't personalised them prior to transport, because if we had an accident, you're taking inflated foils on the site, you're opening yourself up for a bit of punishment.
Also, with temperature changes and things, once you've personalised it, the temperature changes a few times, you're going to get unnecessary wrinklage.
Yeah, so we take them into the venue and we let them kind of equalise a bit to the temperature of the venue, and then we're going to vinyl on site. So that way we've got our vinyl. We do take spare, so this is very inexpensive to cut, this particular sheet. So we needed 2, so we've took 3.
Yeah.
So we've got 1 spare. That's great for us just in case. And we also have spare foils if we need those. But we've got the 2 that's inflated. We're doing a kind of a rough position, and it's just by eye. I'm looking down the centre line, and I've got the left to right there, so I've got it central to me, and I'm just securing it in the middle to start with and just pushing it outwards. Now, I absolutely, if you look at this carefully, you'll see there's some little bubbles in it, and I think at some point I do tear it, but it goes back down great.
Yeah. You've also got to remember, these designs are not going to be looked at like ultra close.
No, this is not a gift bouquet. This is not something that's going to be presented in the hand. This is on the stage for a big room.
Yeah, and you take a photo with a few people in front of that design, which is what it's supposed to be there for. On the photo, any kind of small wrinkles and things that will be completely invisible.
Yeah, we totally accept for a design this big on a foil like this, we could do uninflated, put it on inflated, and it will be absolutely perfect. But the job doesn't need that. It doesn't warrant that extra bit of time or multiple more spares for such eventualities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that there's many ways of doing it, but for this type of job, for the price bracket that it's in, for the broadness of those letters on there as well, it's big and bold, it can absorb any little bubbles. We've even had it where you've got a bit of a wrinkle because of the curvature, so just put a little cut in it, let the overlap happen. It's absolutely fine.
Fine.
You kind of have to step back a little bit and go, it's all right from 2 to 3 steps back, and that's what we're looking for this job. There's time for perfection, and this one wasn't it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just a bold message it was for 60 years of bingo. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to pop this up onto the screen on here, like this, because we have a very happy 60 years of bingo design with 2 happy members of staff.
But you can
And
see
one
here.
second, while we're doing that, we're also going to say a thank you.
Oh yes, let's put this up as well. Yes.
Here we go to our crew members and our Rockstar members.
Yes, thank you very much
for your support.
Just want to point out, lastly, on this particular photo, how important it is to do the reverse spiral of the arch, because the balance and the focal point from that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then doing the spirals of the columns in the reverse spiral and in the reverse sequence makes it look balanced.
Yeah.
It looks like it should.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
absolutely.
The pictures that we see, where spirals haven't been reversed, or the spirals go in the same direction, or they've got a colour sequence and they haven't swapped the colour sequence when they've done a reverse spiral arch. Yeah, customers don't know what's wrong. They just know that it's wrong. It doesn't feel right.
It's like when you look at, if you look at a tower block or something with all the windows there perfectly, a skyscraper, and one window is out, one window is open, your eye spots that straight away. Yeah,
it does.
It's amazing how you've got all of this perfection, one little blemish, you see the whole thing. So just when that spiral is really important, like
it
that,
really is
when it's obvious.
Because the idea of the spiral is to bring attention to the design. It is to create focal points. So when the spiral's there but not correctly done, it goes against you massively. So those little things of the reverse spiral at the right point and reverse the sequence are so important.
Well, thank you all to our members, our crew members, our Rockstar members. Thank you all for our subscribers and our watchers. We're going to be back with part 3 in 2 weeks' time.
We're on time.
Yeah, we're going to be back with part 3 in 2 weeks' time, where we go through the aftermath.
We do, yes. Because it doesn't just end here. We've done the job, but there's more we can do as well.
Okay, so bye-bye for now.
Stay
safe. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.